Hey y'all, welcome back to the Talkoffame podcast. And today I'm so excited to talk with Tony Talks, originally from Fairfax, Virginia. Tony is one of the most recognized comedic influencers on social media. In 2020, his first video to go viral, Let's Go Clock Out, skyrocketed his career to the brand he is today. Currently based in Atlanta, he's known for the video content featuring wig-wearing characters influenced by growing up in a household full of women. Now across YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, he has a total reach of 4.5 million followers and climbing. Because of the massive audience, he has a vast myriad of partnerships with international brands such as Google, Crest, Airbnb, Universal Pictures, Snapchat, ClipBank, Verizon Media, KFC, Scope, Comedy Central, Local TV, iHeartRadio, and Spirit, and more. However, in spite of his massive success, Tony remains dedicated to his passion, which is making people laugh. I know that's a long intro, but I really appreciate you coming on at your busy schedule to join us today. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, no, thank you guys for inviting me. It means the world.
So to kick it off, I like you make comedy videos, which I love. Like, how do you make these videos? Like, how do you come up with ideas of these?
Yeah, so my videos are inspired by life. So whether it's a conversation me and you have or a conversation me and a cashier has, I find all of my video ideas through interactions that I have throughout the week.
Ooh, gosh, I've never heard that one before. Okay.
Yeah.
Like what was a recent conversation that you had that made you want to make a video?
Honestly, that's such a hard question. And the reason why is because I I have a thing with not taking life as seriously as I should.
I'm the same
Meaning,
way. I'm the
yeah,
same way.
meaning that every conversation can easily be turned into something. And the thing with me is sometimes I make them into videos and other times I don't. So I don't have a conversation in mind that I had recently, but literally I can easily turn our conversation into anything. So it's just like it's open to anybody because like I can turn anything into something hilarious.
I know. Like honestly, some like whenever someone says something, I just like try to be like, okay, like whenever they
Yeah,
try to mock them back. But turning
exactly.
into a videos is at a whole different level because you try to remember
Yeah.
what they said and what they did. Like I
Well,
can't.
I write everything down. So like I have in my phone is like the headquarters of Tony Talks because in my notes section I have bullet points of funny conversations that I have and then that's how I remember. So I'm completely with you. I would never remember every single conversation. So I take bullet points down and I just recreate it from that.
Oh, good idea. Thank God
Yeah.
for technology, man. Because
I
if
know.
it wasn't for technology or phones, we wouldn't remember these
Yes.
conversations. So thank you,
Absolutely.
Lord, for iPhones. That's for sure.
Yes.
But like, what is kind of like your hope for these videos? Like, what is kind of like your goal to impact, like, for people that are watching?
Yeah, my goal is for people to walk away feeling like being whoever you are, whatever you are, is enough. And I say that because in my videos it's very different. Like my style of comedy is very, I would say, unique because I find ways to bring humor to everyday situations and things that people could stress about or have anxiety about or anything like that. And I am truly being, although I'm playing characters, I'm truly authentically being myself.
Mhm.
So I want the takeaway to be, okay, I could be as weird as this and people accept it or people like it, or I could do this and I can do that. And people could still love me as long as I love myself and showcase that. So, genuine authenticness, all that good stuff, I want to be the takeaway from watching my video. I want you to have an experience within yourself by watching me.
And that's the most important thing. I know for a lot
Yes.
of other content creators, like
Hmm.
say like the same thing. It's also very like I say cliche, but that's honestly like a
Yeah.
huge thing because I know a lot of content creators like making videos, but they want to people to enjoy them, to like them when they're maybe having a rough day, or
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
if they might seem weird, like to
Yeah,
like that's the most important thing. Like as long as you're being yourself, that's the most
exactly.
important thing because as long as people know kind of who you are as a person,
Yeah.
they're gonna like you even more.
Exactly. And you got to realize all these people that people look up to and like all these famous influencers or even actors, they're all admired because of how different they are. You
Hmm.
know, like you're not admiring someone who's the same as everybody else. Then there's no point of admiring them. So
Hmm.
people don't really realize that, being weird, being different, being quirky, that is what everyone like under the like low key, everyone loves that, you know?
Yeah.
So that is what I hope people get from watching my videos.
I know with a lot of people, like they might seem nice, maybe making videos, but even if you meet them in real
Yeah,
life, they might seem the total opposite. So it's like
completely.
even with liking the same, like a person that's like the same person as others, they're like, why should I like a person that's the same as others or making the same videos as everyone else? But to be
Exactly.
weird and to make these videos, you're like, it makes you stick out even more than other
Yeah.
creators.
Yeah, well, I listen, I received that and I appreciate that. So it's just it's different and I love that people could watch me and could feel like they can embrace how different they are.
Right. I love that. So, like, I know with making videos and being a content creator, it can be a lot of takes a lot of time and energy. But
Yeah.
what does like your schedule look like every day when you're filming these videos and stuff?
So now it's a little more excessive than it was before. Before, I would be able to wake up in the morning and film a few videos and then still kind of have my day. But now it's a little different because my videos are longer, one, and then there's a little more work that I put into them that I didn't do before. So now I would wake up around, normal time around 10, 11-ish. That's pretty normal for me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would film for about 2, 3, 4 hours, and that will probably consist of two videos. And then I'll try to edit both of those same day. And then I will probably be quote unquote off of work at probably like 9 or 10 at night. So it's a pretty long day. And if I have more ideas and I just keep doing it, my problem is that I need to learn how to be off, like learn how to, because now content creation has became the job. So I have to learn how to like turn it off sometimes. So I try to take the weekend to truly do that. But sometimes I just get so excited and I work throughout the whole entire week.
I'm the same way. I'm so
Yeah.
bad at like take like I find a days to like kind of do whatever I want. But
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes I'm just get so wrapped up in work that it never happens. It's very rare for
exactly.
me to actually have
Exactly.
a day where I can do whatever I want.
Life of an entrepreneur.
Right, right, facts. So you worked on Beast with Alec Baldwin. He was an executive producer of it. Like, did you meet Alec Baldwin when you're filming or you didn't?
No, no. So I don't know if that's how that usually works on sets, but the scenes I was in, I did not get the chance to meet him. Believe it or not, I did not even know he was a producer on the film until after.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I had no idea, but yeah, it was a great experience. Everyone on there was awesome, and to find out that he was the producer on it truly was the cherry on top for me.
Oh, I would definitely get that. Honestly, if I was
Yeah,
in a movie that he was a producer on, I'd be like, this, my life is complete. Like,
exactly. Exactly. And then we have the same last name, so that's something to push out there too.
oh,
So
true. That is true. I
yeah.
did not think about it. So that's an extra tip on the T for you.
Yes, exactly.
But like, of course, your video "Let's Go Clock," it was your first viral video on social media. Like, did you expect "Let's Go Clock" to go viral at that point in time?
No, what no, okay, I'm not gonna say no because I knew that one of them would go viral just because I had faith in myself and I knew that one of them were gonna go viral. I did not know that one was, but yeah, once it did, I was like, okay, this is it. Let me go ahead and start keep going and and I didn't ever feel the pressure of like making sure the next videos had to match how good that one did. It was just one of those things where it was like, okay, let's just keep producing, let's keep creating content. Now that I got some eyes on me, let me keep it going, give them something to watch.
I know, because I know with some people, once a video gets a lot of views, they're like, "Oh my God, I
Yeah,
need to make a video that's as top as this one." But
yeah, yeah.
like, I love that you didn't feel, the pressure even after making that video, because I
Um,
know a lot of people do.
Yeah, and I think the reason why is because I was making videos prior to that. Like that wasn't my first video. It was the first one that went viral, but like I have fun. And at that time I had a job, so I didn't need content creation to be my only source of income. I wasn't even thinking about money when I was creating videos. It was more so just I just want to show people a funny side of Tony and just keep it going. And when that went viral, I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna keep it going some more. And then it just started taking off.
Yeah, and plus it keeps you busy all the time. Like
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Even though I work a couple of different jobs, I
Yeah.
use this as something to do when I'm not working, just so I can actually just enjoy myself. Well, this is I kind of consider this work because how much time it puts in, but it's
Yeah.
also a
Yeah.
big way in terms of doing these things. Of course, you get to interact with people, but it's
Yeah.
also you get
Yeah.
to like do so many other things, and plus it's good for the resume. So
There you
always
go.
good for that. It's always a
Yeah.
plus in making content creation, right?
All there's so many perks. Yes.
Yeah, there's so many that I can probably make a full list of how many perks there is,
Yes.
but I can
Yes.
go on probably a different, episode for that one. But
Yeah.
like, what are kind of like the pros and cons for you to making funny videos? So I'm sure there's some.
Yeah, so the pros would be being able to see a lighter side of life when situations come. So, I'm used to turning situations into humor. So, you know, when certain things happen, it's easier to kind of flip the switch and see it as something that's funny. Some of the cons would be not being able to take certain things serious. And then another con would be um just just learning how to turn it off sometimes. I think that's the balance that I'm learning present day is just learning how to turn off the the running mind of okay, let's turn this into something, let's turn this into something, let's turn this into something, and just kind of just figuring out what the balance is between both of those, I think is kind of the con. But other than that, it's not many cons. It's there's pros and cons of everything, but because I haven't sat and truly focused on what the cons were, that's literally the only one that I can give you. But I'm sure there are a ton more. I'm just one of those people that try my hardest not to focus on everything that's wrong with something, and I focus on what you can gain from it and what the positive side of it is, because it's so boring to be negative and to focus on what can hurt you and all of that stuff. So I try my hardest not to focus on. So that's why I don't know to sum all that up.
Yeah, I'm the
Yeah.
same way. I love to focus on the positive more than the negatives. Why be
Yes.
negative over something that you love to do? Like even
Exactly.
though there's
Exactly.
definitely negatives that I can give you, but there's honestly a
Absolutely.
big list I cannot think of on top of my head. But I
Yeah.
love the option that you gave is that like you just get so many ideas that you just it takes so much time to put it on. They're just like, when can
Yeah.
I actually shut off? When you want to shut
Exactly.
off, but you just want to create something different.
Yeah, that's the downside of being a entrepreneur is just you when you go to your job to like your regular 9 to 5 after 5 you're off, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to think about it until you go back at 9 the next day. But when you are your 9 to 5, sometimes it's difficult to figure out when it's time to be off, at
I
least for
know.
me. There's people who are pros at it, but with for me it's a little difficult sometimes to say okay, you're off the quote unquote clock. Like you can focus on just being human and having fun and all that stuff, and not just the fun that you have with at your work, at your job. So
I
I
know.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I'm honestly the same way. It's hard for me to flip the switch and actually have fun because most of my time I'm actually working or doing these things or whatever. That
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
very where I'm just like having fun and going out. And it's
Mhm.
like when I do, I'm just like, what am I doing with myself? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm so used to doing work and like at my jobs. I'm just like, gosh, what am I doing with myself right now? I'm not working. What am I doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting.
It really is. But since you grew up in a household full of women, does it help you get into character of wig wearing characters? I was curious.
Yeah, it yes and no. So it does because they inspired the majority of my characters, if not all of them. But I would say that me working at several jobs, me interacting with a lot, I like to talk clearly, me interacting with so many people, I'm able to pull bits and pieces, and the women like started with my family, but then that's when they continued with all my other
Mhm.
life experiences.
I love it. Like I love how they gave you that sort of inspiration, especially wearing a
Yeah.
wig. You're just like,
Yeah.
and then just acting like your girl, having women in your family give you that sort of inspiration is something that I know a lot of people need when they're making like women related videos. They're like,
Yeah.
which woman in my family should I be for this video?
Exactly. Exactly. It's a whole process, and I'm super grateful that I was raised the way that I was.
And that's the best thing about having sisters is that you can just make fun of them for whatever you want to, whether it's videos
Exactly.
or what. I have a sister, I have an older sister, so I do it all the time. And
There
I
you
feel like
go.
that's what siblings do. Like they just love to make fun of it, whether it's videos or what. It's always a big way to make fun of your
Exactly.
siblings in some way.
Exactly. Exactly.
So to wrap this episode, like what is the best piece of advice for people that want to go into content creation?
It's gonna sound so cliche, but just to remember to be yourself. I mean, as much as that's said so many times, and I don't feel like people like listen to that because they think that you have to be someone else to get your audience, when realistically your audience, you don't need to look for your audience will find you the more you are being yourself and the more you are putting out things that are passionate about you. Like you can tell when someone's creating content or creating things solely for what they think their audience wants to hear or see. You can like physically see that. But people gravitate towards people that are kind of just moving in their own path, and they're just moving because that's what they want to do. Like
Mhm.
with you having this podcast, this is something that I'm assuming you truly want to do, and your audience is probably loving you for it because they can tell and how you talk, how you show up to this podcast and stuff like that. And I feel the same thing with me. Like they see that I'm having fun, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and it's real. Like this is a real thing. And I don't know, my biggest advice is just to stay real to yourself, stay authentic to yourself, and everything else will come. The money will come, the audience will come, all that good stuff. And then the very last thing I would say too is if you weren't making money from it, ask yourself, would you still do it? And if the answer is no, then you don't need to be doing it.
Oh, that's a great point. I'm glad you brought
Yeah.
up because I know when people think about making money in terms of maybe content, they're like,
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
don't make money, I'm not doing this. Like, because I know
yeah.
you have to
It's
get like a
yeah,
certain criteria to get money from maybe YouTube or TikTok or whatever. And so
yeah,
if you don't meet that criteria, let's just say in like a year, then you're like, this is not worth it. I'm done. Like,
yeah,
and that's as long as like if you don't like it, then go ahead, do something else. It's your life. But if you love it, money's not the most important thing, you know? Like as long as you
yeah.
have the passion, that's all you need. If you see yourself doing it maybe a year or two from now, then keep doing
Hmm.
it. Even if you're not making money, maybe you are, maybe you're not. Like as long as you're
Yeah,
working hard for it and you're happy doing it,
yeah, exactly.
do
Because
it.
it will come. Like the money will it'll show up the more you are, the more you're showing up. And
Mm.
you can kind of tell, because if your goal is for financial reasons to create content, the first two or three videos you make and you don't see that money coming in, you're not going to be motivated to continue. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like, but if you were doing it because you enjoyed it and you love what you're doing, then you'll just keep going regardless, and then everything will just start coming and overflowing you, and you just won't know what to do because you're so rich now. And then,
that's right, facts. And
yeah,
plus, if you're making money from what you're doing, that's great. You're basically like making like getting like
absolutely.
financial for yourself. That's great. That's a plus. But not everyone's gonna
Yeah.
get it. Money is off to start. I know that I for years that I still don't make money from this, but that's okay. Money's not doesn't buy happiness. I know that's
Exactly.
cliche to say. I know people are like, "What did she say?" Nah, that's so cliche, but
Yeah, yeah,
accurate. Of course, if you work
yeah.
hard for it and you're consistent with yourself, you're going to get that way.
Absolutely. And money, I forgot that phrase. It's like money doesn't buy happiness. It buys like experiences that can make you happier. but you know, it's you, like you have to be the one that can receive the joy and all that. Like you got to work on yourself before you can think money's going to fix anything. But that's a conversation for a whole nother podcast and a whole
Mhm.
nother day. So we'll revisit that at another time.
Yeah, you make sure you expect that people, because that'll probably be an hour of discussion. So there's tons.
Absolutely.
But I really thank you so much, Tony, for joining us today. I loved having
Absolutely.
you on. This is probably one of my favorite episodes up to date. I swear,
Oh,
I'm not just saying that was recorded, but it's true. But
yeah.
but thank you everyone for listening. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe, like, review, whatever's on your platform. Because I know every platform is different. But I really appreciate you coming on and joining us today, talking with us. I really appreciate you coming on, taking time, and I love what you're doing. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys for inviting me. You are awesome and you have an amazing spirit. Thank you so much.